Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Monmouth County. My name is Judy Stevens. I have the privilege of serving as the council moderator. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. Whoever you are, whoever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here. Our mission is to create community, transform ourselves, and transform the world. I draw your attention to the back side of your orders of service for announcements and service information for next week. For those of you live streaming or video viewers, the order of service is available to you in the YouTube service description box. After the service, coffee will be served in the community room, as well as our annual gifts and fine crafts fair. And people of all ages are welcome to visit with one another, have a little nosh, and please do look at all the offerings there from our gifted artisans and artists. If you're new to us, please do visit our website, UUCMC.org, where you can sign up to get all the latest news of the congregation via email. We look forward to getting to know you better. Please put your devices on silent as we enter into worship together and as we gather under the yearly offering of Paul Velen for Over the River. Stay up here for a moment. If you haven't recognized it already, Paul Velen is a VIP here at UUCMC. A member since 1994, Paul is a goodwill ambassador to all who enter this building. He and his mother, Barbara, herself a member since 1976, can be found just about every Sunday seated by our front doors, greeting all who come in, chatting with old and new friends alike. Paul's an active participant in many of the musical groups here, and at most services can be seen helping with the collection plates. Paul, thank you for your numerous contributions to the well-being of our congregation. We recognize you as November's Volunteer of the Month.
Nothing brings home the realization that it's Thanksgiving better than our beloved Paul Valen at the piano. Thank you, Paul. I'm the Reverend Dr. Craig Rubano, and I am grateful that you have chosen to be in community with us this week. For it is in the generosity of your showing up, your participation in making things happen here, that we generate so many reasons for which to be grateful this Thanksgiving and beyond. It is always a pleasure to collaborate with our credentialed Director of Family Ministry, Michelle McKenzie-Creech, on a monthly multi-generational service, for it allows us truly to embody what is so precious, one of the things that is so precious about congregational life, for it is virtually the last place where people of all ages interact as fellow participants in something larger than themselves. So we're grateful that you're all here today, all ages. Certainly in a month when our theme is generosity, there is no better person to invoke than our music director emerita, Elaine Held, for whose generous spirit and artistic flair we are ever truly grateful. I invite Elaine, along with her sister singers, to lead us in the call to worship, with worship defined in its original meaning of a shaping concern for all that is of worth. We shall be known by the company we keep.
Shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now.
Each week we light a flame in a chalice to signify the sacred space we create each time we gather together with intention and love. This space itself is not sacred, it is we who make it so. I invite Steve and Regina Knowlton to light a chalice flame this morning. Our prayerful words for chalice lighting come to us from sociologist, historian, early civil rights activist, and prolific author W.E.B. Du Bois, among whose writing is the seminal American work, The Souls of Black Folk. Give us thankful hearts in this season of Thanksgiving. May we be thankful for health and strength, for sun and rain and peace. Let us seize the day and the opportunity and strive for that greatness of spirit that measures life not by its disappointments, but by its possibilities. And let us ever remember that true gratitude and appreciation show themselves neither in independence nor satisfaction, but in passing the gift joyfully on in larger and better forms. Thank you, Knowltons. I invite us to rise in body and or spirit and sing our opening hymn, number 1010, in our teal hymnals and on the screens. We'll sing it through 3 times, giving thanks for the time, the joy, and the light we share with loving care as we give thanks for this precious day. precious day, for those gathered here and those far away, for this light we share with loving care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Our story this morning is called The Table Where Rich People Sit by Bird Baylor. This story is about a family who's having a conversation and a consideration of what they value. I'll tell it from the daughter's perspective. If you could see us sitting here at our old, scratched up, homemade kitchen table, you'd know that we aren't rich. But my father is trying to tell us we are. Doesn't he notice my worn out shoes, or that my little brother has patches on the pants he wears to the first grade? And why does he think that that old rattle-trap truck is parked at our door? You can't fool me, I say. We're poor. Would rich people sit at a table like this? My mother sort of pats the table and she says, well, we're rich and we sit here every day. Sometimes I think that I'm the only one in my whole family who is really sensible. Maybe I should mention that my parents made this table out of lumber somebody else threw away. They even had a celebration when they finished it. Understand, I like this table fine. All I'm saying is, you can tell it didn't come from a furniture store. It doesn't look like a table where rich people sit. But my mother thinks if all the rulers in the world could get together at a friendly wooden table in somebody's kitchen, they would solve all the arguments in half the time. And my father says it wouldn't have a lot of cookies piled up on a nice blue plate that everyone could reach without asking. But tonight, it's our kitchen, our argument, and our family meeting, and our very spicy ginger cookies piled up on one good blue flowered plate, exactly in the center of the table. Now, I'm the one who called this meeting, and the subject is money. And I say we don't have enough of it. I tell my parents they should both get better jobs so we can buy a lot of nice new things. I tell them I look worse than anyone in school. And I hate to bring this up, I say, but it would help if you both had a little more ambition. They looked surprised. You can see they never think about the things that we need. Right here, I might as well admit it, that my parents have some strange ideas about working. They think that the only jobs worth having are jobs outdoors. They want cliffs or canyons or desert or mountains around them whenever they work. They even want a good view of the sky. They always work together, and their favorite thing is panning gold. Piling us into that beat-up truck and heading for the rocky desert hills or in the back of some narrow mountain gully where the roads are just coyote trails. They love to walk the wide arroyos, the dry stream beds, where little flecks of gold are found. They used to tell us that the truck just knew which roads to take, and the coyotes showed them where to look for gold. But I never did believe it. After a month or two out there, they always had a little bit of gold to sell, but you can tell it never made them rich. As far as I can see, it was just an excuse to camp in some beautiful, wild place again. They don't mind planting fields of sweet corn or alfalfa. They like to pick the squash and tomatoes. They put up strong fences and they train wild young horses. But they say they can't stand to be cooped up indoors. So now, of course, my dad is asking, how many people are as lucky as we are? But I've called this meeting, and I say, I bet we can make more money. I bet you can make more money working in a building somewhere in town. Remember, our number one rule, my dad says, we have to see the sky. Well, you could look through a window, I say, but they don't even think about it. Do you see what I mean about being the sensible one? Finally, my mother says, all right, we're going to explain to you how we figure out our money. You be the bookkeeper tonight. She hands us each a pencil and a yellow paper. She gives some to my little brother, too, though he'll just sit there pretending to write when we write, or he'll draw a picture of people dancing up in the sky. My father is sitting here, looking me straight in the eye and saying, I thought you knew how rich we were. I say, well, we can't get very far in this conversation if you won't admit that we're poor. I'll prove it to you right now, he says. Let's make a list of the money we can earn in a year. How much is that? I ask. I'll write it down. But he says, not so fast. We have a lot of things to think about before we add them up. My mother says, we don't just take our pay in cash, you know. We have a special plan, so we get paid in sunsets, too. And in having time to hike around the canyons and look for eagle's nests. But I say, can't you give me one single number to write down on this paper? So we start with $20,000. That's how much my father says it's worth to him to work outdoors, where he can see the sky all day and feel the wind and smell the rain an hour before it's actually raining. He says it's worth that much to be where, if he feels like singing, he can sing out loud and no one will mind. I had just written 20,000 when my mother says, well, you better make that 30,000 because it's worth at least another 10 to hear the coyotes howling back in the hills. So I write 30,000. Then she remembers they like to see long distances and faraway mountains that change colors about 10 times a day. That's worth another 5,000 to me, she says. I'm not surprised because my mother claims to be an expert on mountain shadows in the desert. She says she can tell time by the way the colors change from dawn to dark. So I scratch out what I had and I write $35,000. My father thinks of something else. When a cactus blooms, you should be there to watch it because it might be a color that you won't ever see again any other day of your life. How much would you say that color is worth? 50 cents, my brother says. But they decided on another $5,000. So now I write $40,000. Now my mother says, let's see what our daughter is worth to us. Now I'm beginning to catch on to their kind of thinking, so I suggest that I'm worth $10,000, even though my little brother has begun to laugh. Don't underestimate yourself, my father says. Remember all those good lists you make for us? He's right, I do. I made a list of the best books each one of us has read, and a list of the ones that we want to read again. I also made a list of all the animals each of us has seen and the ones that we want to see the most out in the wild, not in the zoo. Mine is a mountain lion. I've dreamt of him 4 times, and I've already seen his track. My father chose a grizzly bear. My mother wants to see a wolf and hear it call. And my brother can't decide between a dolphin and a whale. I remember everyone because I make the lists. They end up deciding that I am worth about $1 million. I say, I don't think I am, but I'll write it anyway. In fact, it turns out that every one of us is worth $1 million. So we have $4,050,000. Then I realize I want to add $5,000 myself for the pleasure I have of wandering in the open country alone, free as a lizard, now not following trails, not having a plan, just turning whatever way the wind turns me. They say that that's certainly worth $5,000, so that makes $4,055,000. Finally, my brother says, put down $7 for me for all the nights that we get to sleep outside under the stars. We all say $7 doesn't seem like enough. We talk him into making it $5,000. Now my paper says $4,060,000, and we haven't even started counting the actual cash. To tell you the truth, the cash part doesn't seem to matter to anyone anymore. It doesn't matter to me. I suggest it shouldn't even be on the list of our kind of riches. So, the meeting is over. The rest of them have gone outside to see the new sliver of moon. But me, I'm still sitting here at our nice, homemade kitchen table with one cookie left on my mother's good, blue-flowered plate. And I'm writing this book about us. I kind of pat the table, and I'm glad it's ours. In fact, I think the title of my book is going to be The Table Where Rich People Sit. And so our story ends.
Every week in this congregation, we are provided an opportunity to practice generosity. This is your invitation to contribute to the well-being of our congregation and to our neighbors through the good works of organizations which receive half of the monies collected each month. Our Share the Plate recipient for November is the Asbury Park Transformative Justice Project. You heard about this last week in Michelle's service here. Offering 5 years of on-the-ground experience in the transformative justice field, they're seeing victims and offenders as individuals first. The project aids formerly incarcerated persons by helping with job placement, housing, counseling, and full mental health and substance abuse assessments and screenings by a licensed social worker. For those of you present in the meeting house, the plates will be passed by the ushers. You may also join this time of generosity via text, send your offering by mail, or charge your contribution online with a memo designating an amount to the Asbury Park Transformative Justice Project. Please give generously.
In just the last 20 years, scientists have discovered something physically true, which probably sounds intuitively accurate to us all. Gratitude and generosity are connected. It turns out, literally connected in the same tiny brain area, the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, for those keeping score. In 2017, Christina Carnes, a leading neuroscientist at the University of Oregon, identified through questionnaires people who practice gratitude, grateful people. She then hooked them up and others to brain scanners and had them watch as a computer moved real money into their own bank accounts or gave it to a food bank instead. The more grateful people had a stronger brain response to the food bank doing well than to their own bank accounts. Gratitude became generosity in action. Carnes wondered whether she could change the way other people responded to the experiment, and so she asked half of a neutral group to journal for 3 weeks about things for which they were grateful, the other half to journal about non-gratitude specific happenings in their lives. The gratitude journaling folks not only reported experiencing more thankfulness, but their brains lit up more to charitable giving than to gaining money for themselves. Practicing gratitude literally changed the value of giving in the brain area responsible for generating those feelings. You can train your brain to get more pleasure out of giving by practicing gratitude. You see, gratitude takes us out of ourselves and into relationship. First, in being actively grateful, we become mindful, drawing ourselves into the present moment, becoming more aware of our surroundings, and in turn, of the needs of others. Gratitude leads to compassion. Second, practicing gratitude reminds us of how much we already have, that we have enough, that we are enough. And living into our enoughness allows us to become aware of circumstances of need in others. We are less likely to guard our own resources when we experience our own abundance, more likely to be generous. Third, practicing gratitude reminds us of all the ways others have helped us, which leads us, in turn, to be those people for others. Gratitude and generosity are in an infinite loop. The more grateful we become, the more compassion we have for others, and in turn, the more generous we are, the more aware we become of reasons for gratitude. The beautiful thing is, wherever we are in our lives, we can find one or the other. If we're feeling less grateful, we can boost that by being generous. And if we aren't feeling particularly generous, we can jumpstart our giving spirits by practicing gratitude. In fact, just hearing about gratitude will make you feel more gratitude yourself and lead you to become more generous. Let's try it, shall we? I recently heard a story that I found charming and that I hope really sticks in your mind. There once was a woman who woke up one morning, looked in the mirror, and noticed she had only 3 hairs on her head. Well, she said, I think I'll braid my hair today. So she did, and she had a wonderful day. The next day, she woke up, looked in the mirror, and saw that she had only 2 hairs on her head. She said, I think I'll part my hair down the middle today. So she did, and she had a grand day. The next day, she woke up, looked in the mirror, and noticed that she had only 1 hair on her head. Well, she said, today I'm going to wear my hair in a ponytail. So she did, and she had a fun day. The next day, she woke up, looked in the mirror, and noticed that there wasn't a single hair on her head. Yay, she exclaimed, I don't have to fix my hair today. And she had a peaceful day. So if that stays in your head, you're going to be more grateful people this week. Like in our story wisdom, we can change our perspective on things by reframing scarcity as a story of abundance. By focusing on the present moment and finding in it a reason for which to be grateful, we in turn become generous to ourselves and to others. Here's another example that I hope will stay with you. I discovered a wonderful haiku. Now, does everybody know what a haiku is? Well, it's a short poem, very short. It has 3 lines. First line, 5 syllables. Second line, 7 syllables. Third line, 5 syllables. Now, these are the words of Kuku Kichigai, written in the 18th century in Japan. Tumbling down the cliff, I couldn't help but notice the cherry blossoms. Tumbling down the cliff, I couldn't help but notice the cherry blossoms. In so many ways, we're all tumbling down the cliff, aren't we? By grounding ourselves in the present, by noticing the cherry blossoms, by practicing gratitude for them, we are more able to be present to the needs of others around us. I believe that is what we try to do together as a congregation. Discovering the wonder at the core of lives that can be difficult. engaging in mindfulness that opens us up to gratitude for enoughness, always our gift as unique selves in community. And in doing so, leading us to feel compassion for others, turning our gratitude into a generosity of spirit that then inspires more gratitude. And the loop goes on. Gratitude opens our minds to a generosity that creates community, transforms ourselves, and transforms the world. As we move ahead in our service of worship this morning, I want to draw our attention to an important commemoration that is particularly timely this year. Since 1999, on November 20th, tomorrow, countries around the world commemorate a Transgender Day of remembrance and resilience. Remembrance to grieve transgender and gender-diverse lives lost to transphobic violence, yet also resilience. For the community created through these ceremonies has led to the birth of resistance and possibility. In a year that has seen widespread efforts to silence the published voices of transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming persons, as well as render less safe the school environments that could so easily be places of sanctuary, let us open our hearts to a generous spirit of compassion and love. And let us live into gratitude for the courage and vitality of our transgender siblings in spirit, for none of us is free until all of us are free. I invite the sister singers back up to the chancel, and I want us to really hear the words in this song by Mark Patterson. In every flower there lies a seed, in every heart a voice that sings, in every soul a place of joy. May it be so.
Let us turn our attention inward and embark on a journey of thanksgiving and a practice of gratitude. Gratitude is more than a feeling. It's a conscious choice to acknowledge the blessings in our lives. When we practice, we build our gratitude skills. As our awareness grows, gratitude strengthens us as it weaves through our every experience, every challenge, and every joy.
Gratitude knows no age, no boundaries, no limits. Gratitude invites us to see the extraordinary in the ordinary and to be present to the abundance of life. Together we harness this transformative power, recognizing the beauty it brings to our lives and the connections it forges among us.
Take a breath and allow your heart to open to the beauty surrounding you.
Take a breath and allow your mind to fill with moments, people, and experiences for which you are grateful.
Now, imagine the links of a chain. Each link contributes to the chain's strength. The concept of gratitude can be viewed in a similar way. Each expression of thanksgiving like a link in a chain that, when connected, strengthens the bonds within relationships and communities.
Together, we will create a chain of gratitude that stretches from heart to heart, connecting and strengthening us, a visual reminder of the collective gratitude that flows through our community.
When you arrived this morning, you were given 3 paper links and a crayon. If you didn't receive those, in just a few moments, you can raise your hand and someone will bring you one. You're going to take a moment to write a word or a phrase or draw a picture of that which you are grateful for. A person, a memory, an opportunity, or a simple joy of life. And as you write, let your gratitude flow from your heart to your crayon, infusing each mark with the warmth of appreciation. If you don't have strips, if you raise your hand, I think we have some more that can be brought around. Also the crayons, too. I think the crayons are on the other side, or we might be out. Oh, you're supposed to write what you're grateful for. A person, a memory, an opportunity, a simple joy in life. On mine, I wrote my family, and on a second one, I wrote the beautiful fall colors. Now, as you finish writing, when you're done, what you're going to do, Reverend Craig and I are going to demonstrate this. You are going to remove the white piece of film on the back.
Write on it first.
Write on it first, yes. And then you're going to make it into a link. After you've done that, you're going to do the same thing with your second one, except you're going to connect it to your first link.
I'm really good at this, Michelle.
You are quite good at that, Reverend Craig. Now, when you're ready, you're going to turn to someone near you, and using the third link, you will connect your gratitude chain with another in this community.
Uh-oh.
We can do this. We can do hard things. Yay! Okay, you all look like you have the hang of it, so when you're ready, link your chains, and we'll give a few moments for that. We won't be able to get them all, as long as you link to someone else. So thank you. And then maybe you can link that over here. Yeah, just keep making links. They're not going to all end up linked together, but as long as you connect with someone else, that's what's important.
And as our chains intertwine, let us witness the power of shared gratitude, a living testament to the strength that emerges when we come together in appreciation and acknowledgement of the blessings that grace our lives. Apparently, it requires a lot of talking to do this.
Yes.
It's not really the glue. It's not really the glue that puts the chains together. It's the speech.
It's the speech. It's the people. It's the relationships.
Oh no. Probably both ends. All right.
After the service, there's a basket in the back by this door here on the left.
This is important. This is your next instructions.
There's a basket in the back for you to drop your unfinished chains. And in the community room, we'll bring that basket in, we'll put it on a table, and people of all ages will have an opportunity to help connect, make the rest of the connections. And these links are going to be available for the next few weeks, and we're going to keep adding to them, and we are going to watch the chain grow throughout the holiday season. Let it be a testament to the power of gratitude, to strengthen our bonds, lift our spirits, and illuminate the path of love that connects us all.
May this gratitude chain serve as a reminder that together we are creating something beautiful.
May this chain of gratitude serve as a reminder that, united, we are stronger.
I'm proud of you all. And I'm going to invite us now to rise in body and or spirit. Don't crush your chains. To sing our closing hymn, number 349 in your gray hymnals and on the screens. We gather together in joyful thanksgiving. Our benediction was written in 1864 at the height of the American Civil War, then in its 4th year. It is said it was in Brooklyn during an oppressively hot summer, which accompanied an epidemic that claimed many lives, that Baptist minister Robert Lowry was lying down in a state of physical and emotional exhaustion. His imagination began itself to take wings. A much-loved hymn emerged fully formed, music and lyrics together, and he sat up and played and sang it at the organ. The hymn is a vision of peace, peace, so longed for in this divided world. And in the song, all people are gathered together at a river's edge, basking in divine splendor. I invite us to think of God in this hymn as the very all-encompassing love that we as a people create in our actions that would bring people together across all divisions. It is in living out a generous love that we create more and more reasons in this world to express our gratitude together. Shall we gather at the river where bright angels' feet have trod, with its crystal tide forever flowing by the throne of God? Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river. Gather with the saints by the river that flows by the throne of God. Soon we'll reach the shining river. Soon our pilgrimage will cease. Soon our happy hearts will quiver with the melody of peace. Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river. Gather with the saints by the river that flows by the throne of God, that flows by the throne of God. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Let us go in peace to bless the world.